The pre-fasting series are done, and today I would like to talk about what influence this pre-fasting series has had on my fasting. And as you may have well know, I am now fasting because I decided in the previous videos that first we're going to have the pre-fasting series, and then on the next, 2 or 3 days, I am going to start fasting. So I am currently on my 3-week fast. Today is day 8. I think it's day 8. But how I'm feeling and how it's going, I'm going to go over in the next video. Today, I would just like to tell you a little bit about the pre-fasting series and how it has influenced my fasting. Hi, I'm Anne Baswood, and on this video, we're going to talk about the why, the doctor, the hunger, the supportive system, the work from home or work or at home where you are fasting. So everything that the fasting series covered. So I would like to tell you that when I have been doing the pre-fasting series, I thought that I know already everything because I have been fasting for the past 30 years, let's say. It's 29, but let's say 30, like a big round number. And I have started fasting when I was 18, and my why was not a problem. But the first video that we cover in the pre-fasting series is about your why. And since the beginning, I have known why I am fasting. My first fast was because I was stubborn and I wanted to prove a point. And every video after that, pretty much every video after that, was about weight loss or improving my health. So I had no problems with this. But I did have some interesting things to write in my workbook that you can also find in the video series in the description. So that was interesting. But what I did not do, and I don't think that I'm going to do in the next fasts that are coming, is talk to my doctor. And there is a reason for that. I don't know if I spoke about that in the fasting video about seeing your doctor. However, here in Slovenia, the health system is really, really good. But the doctors are very, very close-minded if you are talking something rather than medication or treatment. So if I mention fasting to any kind of doctor, I think that I spoke with 2 that were pro it, but any kind of different doctor, either it was my gynecologist, my family doctor, or anybody else that I have been talking to, they are very, very hostile against fasting. And I still don't understand why, because even though it is a very, very old system, or not system, but procedure to get your health together. Now there have been so many studies done that fasting is good for us. But I don't know if we are behind on that subject, or if they are still like trying to fix everything with medication. But I don't like talking to the doctor about the fasting just because there are all these negative emotions, and then they get angry, and then I stop telling about them and about it, and then we basically go our separate ways. So this was my experience. I really, really hope that your experience is going to be different. But for me, this was not a case I could do. What else? We have talked about hunger and boredom in the pre-fasting series. The hunger and boredom is a very particular subject to think about. And I have been fasting for so long that I know what I'm to expect. However, every fast is different because my mind is different, and my why is different, and my, situation in life is different. And this year it is going really, really good because my mind is calm. I am not stressed at work. I don't have any anxieties. I know what I'm doing, what I'm doing, and I know why I'm doing it. It is to clear my body of toxins. And I have gained so much weight back from last year's fasting that I was basically at the same level of weight that I was when I was last year. So it was about 8 kilograms, I think, that I gained in just 1 year. And I know why that is. That is because of stress, because I am a stress eater. So right now I am trying not to be bored, let's say, because when you are bored, I like to snack. And if I'm stressed, I like to snack. And now when you are fasting, you have a lot of time on your hands. And because you're not cooking, you're not preparing, you are not eating, you are not cleaning the dishes, everything is, if you are fasting alone, everything is put on hold when you are fasting. And even though I have 2 children and a husband, my kids are eating at my parents' every day. So I don't like that, because I like to keep my hands full and I like to cook when I'm fasting. But now I don't have to do anything and I have a lot of free time on my hands. So that's one thing. But hunger was never a problem with me and with my fast, because I am fasting after the Broy's fasting method. And the Broy's fasting method is designed especially for cancer patients who are very weak already. So this Broy's vegetable juice really keeps you full when you are fasting. And also this year, I am really trying to stick to the fast. Really, really, really to the exactly how to do the fast. No additional, fruit drinks, or no skipping the juices, no skipping the teas. I'm doing it exactly like it is in the Broy's book, and I'm loving it actually. All right, then we talked about the length of the fast. That video is also very important for you who have not ever fasted for such a long period before, because it is very important for you to decide in advance if you are going to fast for 3 weeks, for 1 week, for 3 days. So you should have that number figured out before you start fasting. Why? Because it's easier. Because you have a calendar. And on that calendar, you have, everything is organized that you will have time and space and peace. However, on that calendar, you have circled the beginning date and you have circled the end date. And that end date is really, really important, because when you are dieting, let's say, there is no end. You just know that you have to stick to that diet no matter what. And if you fall off the diet, you feel bad. But with fasting, you just know that you don't have to eat. And that end date is getting nearer and nearer the longer you fast. And that is really light at the end of the tunnel, let's say. So my circle, I don't circle any dates anymore, but I know when I'm going to start eating again. And it is easier to see it, especially when you have a bad day. We have also spoken on the series about to tell somebody or not. Well, in my experience, I don't like to tell anybody, because I have found out that there is so much explanations to do to the people who have never heard about the fasting, and to the people who are first against it, or second in the belief stage that they could never do it. And they are shocked at the energy that I have. They are shocked at at how I look. They are shocked at how can you not eat anything, and I have to explain it over and over and over again. And I have done that so many times that I just don't tell anybody anymore. But if you're fasting for the first time, and if you feel that you should be speaking about it, go for it. Talk to your coworkers, talk to your family, talk to, your friends, your colleagues. I think that is going to be beneficial for you to get it out. And then they will not explain, but understand you better, why you are having a bad day, why you're moving a little bit slower, why are you thinking a bit slower when you have a bad day. And that helps if people know. another part of the series, what's your support system. Now, when you're talking to your colleagues and to your coworkers, they are not your support system usually. But you do need support system if you have a family to look after, if you're not alone, if you do not want to cook, and if you are struggling. That is a very good idea to have someone you can confide in. And if you do not want to cook, to let the other adult in the family take over the cooking business, or you will need to prepare ahead and prepare as much dinners as you can if you are cooking at home, and freeze them so they have time to, thaw it and then prepare it for themselves, their side dishes. So that is a good idea for a support system. But for the mental support system, you will probably need somebody to talk to, and somebody to talk to on a bad day, and somebody who will understand how you're feeling, and somebody who will have some idea how to help. And that's exactly why I've created my new school community. The link for the school community is down below, and it has been running for a week. And already I have, I think that 8 very, very interesting individuals who have each their own problem, but all of them are thinking about fasting, and all of them are asking interesting questions. They have interesting backgrounds, and if you would like to have somebody to talk to, it is a very, very nice community to be in. Also, I will be there every day to help you with any questions that you might have. So check it out. I think it's going to be cool for you to join us if you want to fast. To fast at work or from home. This is another big one because I am fasting while I'm at work. However, this year I have tried it a little differently, because I have started my fast on a Wednesday. So Wednesday, nothing to eat. And then I had Tuesday when I was still at work. And then Friday I had off, because I know from my experience and from my body that the day 3, 4, and maybe even 5 is going to be sluggish. I will not feel very good. I don't have headaches usually, but I am without energy because my body is transitioning. Because in the first 2 days, you usually have your glucose stores, and the body is getting their energy from the glucose stores. I heard that from Huberman. But after that, the glucose stores are depleted, and then your body is going to snack on your fat stores and also your muscles if you are not very active in your fast. I know that there will be bad days, especially if you're drinking coffee, or if you are, detoxifying from alcohol or from cigarettes. That is a really big deal. You will have problems on day 3, 4, 5. That's why I do not suggest for you to have the length of the fast shorter than 5 days, because you cannot experience the full benefits and the coolness that you get after day 6 when you feel great. Working while you are fasting and you have these bad days, on those bad days, I just like to sleep as much as I can. And I don't want to go to the kitchen. I don't want to drink the teas. I don't want to drink the juice. I do it, but I just want to sleep. And if I don't sleep, then I go outside, because fresh air really, really helps. And you can't do that while you're working. So if there is a possibility for you to be home, if you will be fasting for 3 weeks, to be home for the first week, from, for day 1 to day 5 or 6, that would be great. Because then you know what you're doing on day 7, you know what you're going to be feeling, you are prepared for basically anything, and you can go back to work. But I do not recommend for you to fast at home all of the time, especially if you are fasting for the first time, because home has triggers, and I hate those triggers. I know the cupboards that the sweets are in. I know the stove. I'm looking at the stove. I'm looking at the fridge. I'm looking at the pantry, and I'm going to cook this, and I'm going to eat this and that when I am starting to eat again. And that's not a good idea, because once your mind gets rolling about food, you just go downhill from there. And when you are working, you're usually distracted by work, by your coworkers, by, the time just flies by. And when you get home, it's already 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And then you just have your, apple juice for dinner, freshly squeezed, and it is easier. and you go to sleep and the day is over. So yeah, I really do recommend for you to think about it when, if it's possible, for you to be at home for the first few days and then go to work for the duration of your fast. What else do we have? A bad day. I already spoke about bad days. So sleep, definitely sleep, because the time flies when you're sleeping. And then light, really, really short walks, but do get outside on a fresh air. Even if you are, if you have all of the windows open inside your house, it's not the same as going outside to breathe in some fresh air. If you can go on a walk by a river or into the forest, and where there are not a lot of people around or not a lot of cars around, that would be even better. But get outside, because you will feel instantly better. And another thing that I didn't say on a bad day, this is something that people don't talk about, but I don't know why, because this is our body, we all do it. You need to clear out your gut. You are not eating anything. However, you still have debris from the times that you were eating, especially in the beginning of the fast. And even though you're not eating, even at day 10, 12, or 13, the debris does accumulate in your gut, because you are flushing toxins out of your body and they have to go somewhere. And they usually go into your digestive tract, and you need to flush that out. And you will feel instantly better when you go to the toilet. So think about that. There are different methods that you can do if you do not have the possibility to go on by yourself. I am using an enema, I think. I was introduced to the enema when I was having my first child, because each woman gets it before she's in labor, so we don't make a mess when we are in labor. So yeah, that's in Slovenia. But yeah, so if you're a woman, you will probably know about that. If you're a man, you know now. There are also diuretics, I think, which you can take, but nothing chemical. Take, I don't know, mineral water. Take, I don't know, the juices from sauerkraut are really, really good for your digestion, and it will get the juices flowing. So that's a bad day. Also, yeah, I have talked about the length, but I have not talked about when to stop. Fasting is a particular thing. You have to, if you have not ever done it, you have to do it now. You have to be really in tune with your body. You have to listen to it. That's why being in a quiet place and just focusing on how you feel is very, very important, because you will know the signs when you quit, when to quit, and when it's just when the body is just whining that it needs food. I had to quit my fast early, I think that twice or 3 times, probably 3 times in the length of the entire fasting years that I have been doing it. So 3 times in 29 years. And that was once because I did not know my why. I just said, let's do it because it's spring. And I was full on in the middle of my exams at school. I couldn't focus. I couldn't study. I was just thinking about food. I was commuting an hour and a half one way to my school every day. I couldn't drink the teas. I couldn't drink the juice. It was terrible. And the day 5, I think I just quit. I said, I cannot do it. I need to get the exams through and then I can focus on the fast. And that year I didn't fast again. The next time, it was several years ago when I tried to fast, and I did it. And I did it for, I think, 14 days or something like that. And then I was a nervous wreck. Then I think that year I had burnout, and I was at home because of burnout for 8 months. So that was interesting. Never fast when you are stressed. Keep that in mind. Because if you're not ready in the mind is what is driving all of that below the head. And if you will be stressed, if you're stressed from all of the other things that are going on in your life, work, family, problems with your parents, problems with your spouse, whatever you have in your family or in your life that is stressful, think about fasting, or think hard if you want to fast, because it's going to be an additional stress that your body doesn't need right now. And what happened to me was that I got a diarrhea, and it's very fun to have diarrhea when you have an empty stomach. Then after diarrhea, I had an eye infection. After an eye infection, I was in a hospital because diarrhea exhausted me so much that I needed, what is that called? I don't know, it's infusion in our country. And then I had chest pains. It was terrible. And it was because of stress. And I was putting additional stress on my body, who was really, really just managing to stay afloat. And that did not sit well with me. But I don't remember the third time why I quit. But I have it in my mind that I quit once before. But my point is that, please, when you are thinking or when you are fasting, there are different signs. When you know that I don't feel like this, maybe this hurts, or I couldn't sleep, or something like that, that is your body whining. But if you have problems, real medical problems, then think about it. Go to your doctor if they are pro-fast. And tell them what's going on. Tell them that you are fasting and what's their suggestion. Last year, when I was fasting, I had a really bad inflammation of the shoulder, or the right shoulder, and this was all that I could move my arm. It was like this much, and I was in such a pain. And then I got on some medication to fix my shoulder. And I needed to take the pills. And because pills are never good taken on an empty stomach, I ate this much of an apple with the pill. And I did that for 3 days. And I lasted throughout the fast. It was not a problem. But I didn't want to do it. It was not a nice, in my head, pills and an empty stomach, they don't mix very well. So I was stressed about that. That's it. And so think about when you are stopping before you start your fast. Write out what is your limit and something that you are not going to cross. You're not willing to cross because of your health. Because fasting is stressful. Let's be honest, fasting is stressful on your body. And then, the last thing that it was I think the last day and the last week. So before you start, and I really did take a lot of ideas out of that and into my own fast before I started fasting. And it was quite interesting, because on the week before I started, I think that it's in the video as well, I was like, okay, let's just start, because if I start now, I'm going to finish a week early. But then, okay, I know I have to this and this and this at work. I cannot start right now. I was so anxious because I just wanted to begin. And then the next day I was like, oh, am I really going to do this right now? Oh, it's going to be Valentine's Day. Oh, I don't want to do it. But it all worked out fine. Valentine's came and gone, and we kissed. No sugar, no flowers, and that was it. Me and my husband are going to have the Valentine's Day when we stop fasting, because my husband is also fasting with me. He decided he's going to be my rock, and I said, you need a rock, I don't. And he agreed. However, that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. The filming of the series was quite stressful for me, actually, but it was quite eye-opening as well. And I hope it was for you too. So if you want to watch the series, I will leave, I think that you can watch it here. I will link it here. Again, if you're thinking about fasting and you will need support, please join our free school community where like-minded people are gathered around, and we are brainstorming all of the different things that we could help each other with. And I will also be there for you to root you on and to answer any of the questions you might have. So that was it for today. It was quite a long video, I think. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your time. And I hope to see you again in the next video. I will still be fasting, but when I stop the fast, I will definitely post about how this fasting period in 2026 went. So thanks so much for waiting till the end, and I hope to see you again in the next video.